what idiota would quit an 80K job to go live in their van? I know you're probably thinking, didn't she just say she lived in a van? That looks like a house to me. Oh my gosh, you are so smart. I'm gonna answer that question for you. Hey guys. This is Silver's Reign, the channel where we reign supreme on catching our dreams. And when I say our, or our, whatever. When I say us, our, I'm talking about YouTube, baby. It's a community, some vlogging, but all of it is to give knowledge, entertainment, inspiration, and maybe even a little bit of laughter. Today, what I want to do is tell you what idiota would quit an 80K job to go live in their van. Well, hi, my name is Idiota. No, but for real. In all honesty, it was a tough decision. It wasn't a tough decision. Let me not say that. It was a no-brainer for me. But with having so much like institutionalism, if that's even a word, we'll look it up. I don't know. But having been institutionalized, I know that's the word, by American standards and like what the world thinks is success and things like how you should go about life, that really made these decisions hard. And what are these decisions? Shouldn't I just get to the point? Why am I getting closer to the camera? Because I gotta be dramatic. That's just me. Wait a minute, I just want to address that question really quick. People don't have moms? People don't have dads? People don't have cousins? You telling me that you can't go to your uncle's house and take his shit's naive? You telling me that you can't go to your cousin and say, hey homie, I need to take a little video? You telling me that I could not be at my great aunt's house? I probably can't be there because she probably dead. Oh. I'm not in any of those places though. I'm actually in the Airbnb. Just because I do van life don't mean I'm like hella broke. I'm a little bit broke. So, to get into the meat and potatoes of this story about I was making so much money and now I live in the van. You know what I mean? You live in a van and that's hot, sticky, cramped. Shoot, I ain't even getting one of them big fancy Sprinter vans. I just got just a regular minivan. Why? Why would I be so happy? I'll tell you why I'm happy. But in order to answer that question, I gotta tell you a little bit about my childhood. I like to call it a golden child. I was the shiz naive. I was everybody's favorite little cousin. Cousin! What's up, cuz? My brother's favorite little sister. My teacher's favorite little kid. You know what I mean? That's who I was. I'm not being cocky. I was that child that people just knew was gonna be successful. My uncles, who I don't even freaking talk to, I don't even know how they know anything about me. They would see me at a dinner or cookout and be like,
she's gonna be a doctor. She is gonna be a lawyer. That's that kid that's gonna be a doctor.
Obviously, somebody was going around, you know, putting merit on my name. They was putting respect on my name. See, I got straight A's and then I didn't give my mom no problem. Look on that. With me having all this respect on my name, I just always had in my brain, like, I'm gonna be one of them. When you think about me, you think about success. That's what I embraced as a young child. Success was being a doctor, being a lawyer, being somebody who brings in the bacon. You smell that? Ah, that's the smell of fried pig.
Hey!
Bacon.
Out of time. My bacon smelling fine.
I was gonna be bringing home that bacon. I liked bacon. But anyways, that's not the moral of the story. Music was a big part of my life as a kid. Stole my brother's piano that became mine. Taught myself how to play the keyboard. I used to write music, sing. I knew I liked music. I would say I'm gonna be a singer, but I think the older I got and got into high school, still had great grades, straight A's most of the time. Up until gym class, I was good at gym. I used to play. You know what it was? Current events. Did you hear me straight? Current events. This is gym, baby, where I go dribble a ball, where I go shoot some hoop, kick a dodgeball in somebody's face. Why on God's beautiful green earth was I sitting up there writing current events for gym? I just couldn't wrap my head around that. Miss Coley ain't really get them current events for me.
Miss Coley gave me a C.
Back to the story at hand. So as a child, I knew I had some big shoes to fill. This wasn't even nobody else's shoes. They was making these shoes too big. They was just making the wrong pair of shoes. I wanted big shoes, don't get me wrong. But I didn't say I wanted those shoes. Everybody just put me in a doctor shoe. What if I wanted some red ruby slippers? What if I wanted to be walking down the yellow brick road? Anyways, I'm 16 years old. I get a job at McDonald's. That's kind of the only places that was really hiring 16-year-olds. I hate it. I quit. Then I got another job. I got a job at 16 at Olive Garden. I kept moving myself up the fast food ladder. Ruby Tuesday, Olive Garden. Then your girl settled down and I started working at Brewer. I was so ambitious. I was so good that I get offered to be a manager. What is Brugger's Bagels? Brugger's Bagels is basically bagels. Like what you think it was. It's bagels. It sells bagels. So anyways, I kept getting into the restaurant world. Moved to Cali, do a bunch of stuff. I get to like 21. I'm over the restaurant world. I want to be in the corporate. I don't want to work on holidays. I don't want to do that. That's where I was at. I start getting into more corporate job. Long story short, I get into a pretty good position with a grande company. Probably 1 out of 4 of people watching has some type of relationship with this company. I'm a beast. I am a top like 15% of the company. So I get to go to a big company trip or we go to an all-inclusive resort. I'm living the life. And even before I got that job like that, with my last corporate job I had, I bought a house. All of the nice things I wanted for my house. I bought a duplex. I'm renting one side, living in the other. I'm getting free rent. I'm smartical. So then when I got this big job, making all this money, I always wanted a drop top Audi. I get a drop top Audi. I'm 23 years old and I got my Audi, Jetta, duplex. I got a tenant on the other side. I'm 23, you know what I'm saying? I get to dish out money. I get to be on my philanthropy. I get to pay some of my mama's rent. You are the American dream. You got all this money, you got all this stuff. What was the problem? The problem is I'm not happy. I should be happy. I have everything somebody at my age could ask for. Anything I wanted to buy, I could pretty much buy for the most part. I couldn't go buy a yacht, but I didn't want a yacht anyways. Why would you not be happy? I wasn't happy. I wasn't. So if I wasn't happy, what was missing? I had to evaluate my life. I had to really think. I got to thinking. I realized that music was not a part of my life anymore. I would make songs, I still would play my keyboard, but where I wanted to be in music, I was not. I always wanted to pursue music. I wanted to be a singer. Hello. What was I doing at this job that stresses me out, that I hate? What was I doing with this house that has all of this responsibility, these car notes, these credit card bills? Like, what was I doing? So I decided I'm done with this. And you know what I did? What do everybody who want to be a singer do? What do? They moved to Atlanta. I finally moved to Atlanta. I'm happy. It's another pieces to that story, but I ain't gonna get into it. But get those pieces out the way. And then I find that I'm in Atlanta. I took a job making $11 an hour. I'm broke-ish. Got me an apartment, a nice apartment. So basically, I start maxing out, racking up a lot of debts. Basically. It is so much more to that story that I ain't telling y'all right now. It was like another person I was basically taking care of. That $11 probably would have been alright for just me, but nah. So I had to start swiping that CC. When you're swiping the CCs that got big limits and you got little money, because they gave you the big limits when you had big money, but now you got little money, you know what happened? You rack up monthly bills that you can't afford no more. I found myself always giving my money to them. I didn't have no money for me. I didn't have no money to pour into what I wanted to do. Go to the studio, buy some beats, get some recording equipment. I didn't have no money for that. What'd I do? I go get a better job to pay off all of this debt because I didn't want to mess up my credit. I get sucked back into the corporate stratosphere. What does stratosphere mean? Atmosphere, things around you, something like that. Why am I doing all these gestures? Anyways, I get sucked into this corporate world. I'm back where I started. I moved out here to Atlanta to get away. I kind of just like almost have this breakdown. What is this life? How can I just live life to pay bills? I know I racked up the bills, but why would I do that? It wasn't even on what I wanted. And I had to make a hard decision. You only get one life. I know you pride yourself on paying your bills and having your nice credit, but you're young. If there's any time to make mistakes, do some crazy things, it's now. Care about your sanity more than you care about what people think of you or the things around you. The treatment you get because you have bad credit. It is what it is at this point. So I make a choice. I decide I'm gonna let it all go. I'm gonna let it go. I needed my car, a house, and I needed my sanity. Anything that wasn't a house, car, or sanity had to go. Letting that all go, I felt like a ton had been just lifted off my shoulders. I just felt at peace. But what did I do with this peace? With this piece, I decided I just was in La La Land for a few months. I was, to be honest. Not really knowing which way to go as far as music, not really having a plan. I fell right back in my old habit. Some type of way, I got right back into the corporate world. But this position I was in was awesome. If I had to choose a kind of dream job, it would be things along that line. My schedule is pretty cool. I'm not getting micromanaged. I'm getting to go out into the world, not sitting behind a desk, great money. I had RVPs, VPs, CEOs knowing my name, being in these conversations at their meetings. I was piloting programs, doing new rollouts. I was becoming a go-to girl at this job. I definitely was moving up the ladder pretty quickly. All of a sudden, I started to get depressed. Again, I was unhappy. Why was I unhappy? I literally had a job that people would kill for. Why am I unhappy? Then it dawned on me, again, you're not doing what you love to do. Your purpose in this life is to touch people's spirit with your heart. That is your purpose. That's one of them. That's your passion. And I wasn't doing it. I got stuck in the word again. I thought the first time was hard. But at least the first job, I wasn't really happy with the job itself. I confide in my boss. I tells my boss I love music and I'm thinking I want to leave the job to just pursue and do what I would love to do. I'm not going to tell this to no CEO or no VP. I tell it to my boss. You know what my boss do? My boss tell the gosh darn, I want to say RVP or something. He was a high ranking position there. And he calls me about me wanting to switch this great corporate job to pursue music. I'm beyond embarrassed because a musician, an artist, making it just seems like such a pipe dream, right? Blowing up, being the next Rihanna, Beyonce, her, the next Summer Walker. But we talk about it and he wants to know, how can you do both? How can we help you stay with us but be able to still have the time? What do you need from us? I need less mental stress. I'm a musician. I am a creative. We need to have a free brain of clutter and thinking about sales goals and corporate meetings. Honestly, at that point in my life, I just needed a mental break so I can get back into my creative positioning. So they give me a great offer. This is a very, very scary and hard decision. And this is a great, stable financial career. What do? Do I just quit all of this to pursue something that might never happen? Let it slip out of my hand or do the responsible thing financially? It was such a hard decision, but bye. Arrivederci. I think that's the word. I decided to leave. When I tell you, I put in my notice, and every day my boss would ask,
"Did you change your mind? How about you change your mind? Change your mind."
And when you got these people from these high levels calling you, it makes you see that they see that you're an asset to their company and they want you here. And with them wanting you here and wanting you to stay, I know there's room for growth. This time, I had a plan of how I would execute it. I run into the right people, I make the right moves. I meet Tune. Tune is an audio engineer, graphic designer. Tune is a one-stop shop as far as like being a musician. He hears my music and he's like, I want to work with you. I want to help you. You are so talented. He believes in me. And from there, a lot of things happen in between. But basically, we get to this point where we're working so good together. We're so creative together. We're putting our minds together. We start a business together. We're flourishing. I create the brand that I always wanted to create. I'm making songs. I have a studio in my house. I have the equipment I need. I buy all the stuff I need. I have it all as far as the things that I want to make me happy and to pursue my dreams. And I find myself happy. Now we've got everything we need. We got the music, we got the engineering, the video. We decide, hey, let's go on a tour. And then we are talking, you know, I think Tune gets to talk about how he was homeless and how we should donate some money to the homeless. You know, I keep saying I want to be a philanthropist. This is like a goal and a dream of mine. Not realizing all the while that philanthropy is basically giving back. I always had in my mind to be a philanthropist, I had to like have millions of dollars to be able to donate $1 million check, $1,000 check. No, philanthropy is giving back. You're giving back. You are a philanthropist and you can do more, even on a small level. And I'm like, dude, let's make this whole tour dedicated to having a benefit concert that raises money for the homeless, because we can perform, we get to do what we love, but then we also get to give back. And that's another thing that I love. I'm like literally doing all of the things that make me happy in this one tour. And at first I was like, we'll just get Airbnbs everywhere. Tune was like, I ain't got the money for all of that. I'm about to convert my van into a house. A bed, a place where I can sleep while I'm on this road. And I'm like, all right, sometime we get Airbnb, sometime we be in the van. And we came up with this whole plan of how we're gonna do it, and we started doing it, and we're doing it. I'm so freaking happy. There's times where I'm sleeping in that van and it's sweaty, sticky, hot, crowded, but honestly, if that's what I gotta do to do what I love, I'd rather have that than have the comfort of a home and a nice big bed every day. With this story, I just want to inspire people to share my story and inspire you guys to just step out and do what you love. Make a smart plan to achieve your goals and your dreams. And don't just keep on with the excuses and saying, well, when I get enough money, well, when I get a better job. Work on the things you can control. See, for me, I had to realize, like with myself, you have to know yourself as far as how you react in certain situations. Like when I'm working a job, especially like sales jobs, my mind is like dedicated to getting that goal. Like I'm very competitive, I'm very ambitious. So it'll become a thing where kind of like my career is my life, and it drains me so much that by the time I get home, you're tired. You're out of it. You're tired. And there's people who can just jump right into that. I'm not one of those people. Like I need my time to relax and like recuperate. And I know everybody not like that. I know that I'm not gonna work a hard job and come and work hard on myself. I'm sorry, that's the way I am. I had to get rid of the hard job so that way all my energy and my working hard goes on myself. This was my revelation. So if you get you a simple job with a simple task that doesn't take a lot of your mental energy out of you, when you're done with that and making your money, you'll have plenty of mental space, energy to put into your own goals and dreams. I don't care if I have to flip a burger at McDonald's to make my ends meet, and then I could pour all my hard work and energy into there. I'm so happy that I made that decision. Y'all don't hear me. I'm just doing everything that I ever wanted to do. And am I doing it in style and pretty and cute and fashionable? On the outside looking in, if people see me pull up in my raggedy van, they see the tailgate popped and they see the bed in the back, and they might think, oh my goodness, she's living out of her cards. You know, I feel bad for her. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't feel bad for me, shorty. I'm happy. I chose this. I'm happy with it. I feel more bad for people who have this big, beautiful house and everything that their heart can desire physically, materialistically, but they don't have the thing that their heart desires on a spiritual level, on a peaceful level. And I think with finding your purpose, you get that. Am I where I want to be? Heck no. Heavens no. I'm not where I want to be, but the place that I'm at, this gonna be all part of my story. The type of success that I want to be a singer, y'all. I want to be a singer, rapper, artist. I want to be a musician. I want to scale. So right now I might be able to give a burger to somebody who's hungry, but I want to be able to teach you how to fish and help you get on your feet again. I want to do that type of philanthropy. So right now I'd be happy just giving you the burger but I want to scale that up to where I can give you the fishing pole and take you to the pond. Okay, maybe not the pond, maybe it has to be a lake or ocean, but you get the gist. I haven't reached my goal, but I'm happy because I'm seeing small results in the things that I'm doing. I didn't leave myself any choice for anything else. I sold all my stuff. I don't have a house. Every day I'm reminded and I'm motivated to get up and do what I made the decision to be in this predicament for. There's no distraction. When we out there in this van, in the street, ain't no time to lounge around. Like, it's hot in this car. Like, let's get to your Panera Breads, your libraries, Starbucks, your local coffee shops, and let's get some work done. Let's go to a studio session. There's no other choice but to work towards your dreams and goals. I want to press upon you to let go of excuses, man. Just let go of excuses and be a dream catcher. I start saying dream catcher because, you know, you always hear about chasing dreams, and I just feel like you might never catch it. I ain't promoting the chase. You know you gotta do the chase to get to the catch. I'm promoting the catch. Catch them dreams, baby. We dream catchers. We kicking down those. We ain't chasing them. Man, I hope this helps y'all. I just hope this helps to be some type of inspiration. Take them steps to do what you love to do, and know yourself well enough to be able to negate the roadblock that's in your way. So what I want y'all to do for me, comment what your dream is, what your goal in life is, what's your dream, and comment what is your roadblock, or I like yo excuse. What's stopping you from doing what you love to do, what you put on this earth to do? What's going on? Put it there. It's a good place to start. It makes it public. It brings some accountability. I want the people who end up watching this video, the community that we're building, if you feel like you have advice on how to overcome that roadblock or something they can do in lieu of that, how about you guys comment and tell them so we can help each other catch these dreams. Let's go reign supreme and catch these dreams. You feel me? Mwah.